Hi, Twitch.
Hi, Twitch.
Okay.
Injustice.
Wow.
Hey, Sid. Hey, Sid. Hey, Sid. You're... Nope. We do. We have audio. We're not that far. We haven't even started the recap. This is why we check.
My smoothie says it has 8/9 of a banana in it.
8/9 of
Oh.
a banana?
Or
But-
8 out of 9 bananas. I don't know. I
Oh.
8 of banana.
But does it have audio?
You do.
Mm.
Yep.
I do. Well, I guess that's good enough. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to another incredible episode of Injustice.
Injustice.
No, they did hear you the first time.
Yeah, we did already.
Great. Last time. Oh wait. We do have most everybody here tonight. We are missing Chavis, and Apollo is here to join us. Wave, hi, Apollo. He can fill in for Chavis. And we are missing Cameron, who will both of them be joining us a little bit later. But we do still have our incredible guest star, Devin Grady, joining us as the swashbuckling Azraketti to lead our party through Ganphar Town. And we are going to jump right back into the quest at hand, which is a little bit of a side quest, turned into a little bit of a lore dump main quest. Little did the party know. So I'm going to hand it over to Mason to tell us what happened last time, and then fill you guys in on the broader what the fuck the party is doing, and then we'll get right back into it.
Okay. So last time we started in the cathedral-esque room with the altar and the stained glass window, and Kijani had noticed that Thassa recognized the imagery on the old altar, so began to question a little bit about the knowledge of like him and his party, and they came to a bit of a standstill, but ultimately decided to go and find Jovi first. So made their way outside, discovered that there was some sort of like creature in the water. We saw that on the map, and then made way to one of these like dock houses that had Jovi in it, who was missing a leg. And at some point on the way there, I believe Vesrin remembered that there's a type of people, like a peoples that is like naturally has an affinity for water called Azraketti. They're like an ancient race that typically all live underwater now, but aren't really believed to. They're kind of like a myth. Like nobody sees them much anymore. And we eventually cornered the two and found like that was true, that they were Azraketti. And then Thassa revealed his like true form to us, and we spoke a little bit about the altar and the primordial gods. Found out that Kraken was one of the primordial gods, and it's not like the Kraken, but the name Kraken belongs to this one god, and all the rest of them are named like after this god, almost as aspects. But all of the gods were concealed, not concealed, but like constrained to like one form on the physical plane after their fight with the Veo, who we found out like supposedly were made by the elves. So then we found a book that speaks more about the Kraken, and like Thassa led on that there are scriptures that talk about the location of Kraken, the physical location on like the material plane, and what it would take to kind of like speak to her. We haven't spoken about if we want to do that or if we're interested in that as a group, but we did find that out. Um, I have something in quotes. I don't know what we expected. Perhaps we hoped. It doesn't matter now. This place once stood tall and proud. After what we have done, she came in the night and sank our palace to the sea. Oh yeah, so
That
we
was
found
the
out like,
quote. That was a quote from the book.
hmm
It was an elf. Those that were responsible for, I guess, bringing the veil into existence. I get we assumed that Kraken destroyed the tower
yeah,
as retribution for uh
that's right.
confining the primordial gods into physical
That's right.
bodies.
Um, so yeah. Other than that, the only thing we actually like discovered that session was that the veil on the window had a 12-faced description. So this veil potentially had even more like reach and capability than the one that we encountered. Um, who knows? So I think that was everything.
Um, Something
Yes,
else
very well
that
done.
we found out was um the Unagi clan, which was the clan that preceded the Blue Maw, were all Azraketi, and it was the biggest colony of above water Azraketi in the world until the
Mm,
Blue Maw
hmm
came. They have
Yeah,
a
that's true.
large
And a lot
settlement
of them live
underwater.
underwater
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
And several Unagi survived the Maw's attack, contrary to popular belief. Azraketi society is bustling in the inner sea underwater.
Yeah. Thank you. And I believe that is everything.
I agree.
Questions, comments, concerns?
There is a river drake somewhere in the water.
Yes, I had mentioned that. It is actively trying to eat Jovi, who we discovered also has to get in the water. We did find that out. Something happened to make it so that Jovi cannot stay out of the water for too long right
It's
now.
a Azraketi have.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
All Azraketi have to
No,
be
I think
in
there's
water.
like a, I think there's like a, I think Thassa and Jovi each had like something that was allowing them to like breathe above water,
Well,
maybe like an apparatus.
they have
And
an
because
item.
Thassa kept saying that they lost it, like, did you lose it
I
to
thought that was the
Jovi?
item that allowed them to conceal themselves as
I think
Undine.
they
Yeah.
do the same. I think they do the same thing.
No, no,
Or,
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry, you're right. It's just an illusion.
Yeah.
Um,
oh,
He just
the,
hasn't been in the water in a long time.
he hasn't because he's been avoiding the river drake and also bleeding out.
got you.
Yeah.
So does Thassa also need to get in the water? Because he hasn't. He's been stuck with the blood thing,
Uh,
in, like a
Theoretically,
trance.
like once a day, he would need to.
Oh,
Or suffer penalties
I
that I
could
don't
roll
know.
like a nature check for this if you want me to. I don't know that Kitani would know
I
this.
think you
But,
already did and did not succeed
oh,
on the Azraketi thing.
sure.
Hey, Devin,
Yeah.
did you pick an Azraketi variety that can avoid getting in the water daily,
That is
or
excellent question.
there's
I
one
will.
Azraketi subspecies that can go several days without?
I did not, it seems.
Okay, then yeah, you're probably also direly feeling the need. I'm sure you have a feature. Hydration. While you are amphibious, being equally as capable on land as in the water, your body requires you to return to aquatic environments at least once in a 24-hour period. You must submerge in water in order to rehydrate your water-acclimated skin. If you fail to do this, your skin begins to crack and your gills become painful. You take a -1 status penalty to fortitude saves. After 48 hours, you struggle to breathe and begin to suffocate until you return to water. We'll say that
Love that.
you are starting to feel the effects, but the area is quite damp, being right next to the sea. It's high humidity. We'll give you a pass on that strict timeline. catch up. And you could have spent this time while Jovi was being rehydrated with the bucket to also take advantage of that. So
True.
don't feel compelled to do that right this instant. Yeah, excellent. I think that covers the recap. To kind of talk about the grand scheme, party has traveled to the pirate city of ruined ships, the Ganphar Collective, or known as Gaffer Town to the locals. They are seeking the shards of the hexahedron Veo, the dead Veo corpse that is hidden underneath the bay in Astropor. They are going to attempt to recreate the Veo in its totality so that they can murder it right, with the right number of people assisting in the murdering of said god. Was it deicide? You can permanently make sure that it is destroyed by effectively absorbing all of the vertices and not allowing it to hang on to any. So there is supposed to be one of these shards of the Veo being sold at auction here in Gaffer Town, according to your underworld connection that you had hired in Veonaya. Still a couple of days away from that supposed auction. You do need to do a little bit more research as to where and when that auction will occur, but having embarked upon this quest on behalf of the Pale Orcas, you will have entreated yourself to a powerful organization in Gaffertown, becoming guild members, earning yourself effectively citizenry, and being able to make use of guild resources to track down that auction and get in and navigate a little bit better, in addition to the reward that will come with having completed this. So,
I realized that we also found, well, not we didn't find out. I'm not gonna say we. Some characters unintentionally revealed that we were from Astroport to Thassa and Jovi, and then we also realized that apparently we don't want anybody to know that we're from Astroport.
yeah, I didn't take an opportunity when that happened to tell Devin what he might need to know about that. Devin, you're aware that Astropor is a major nation in the world of Mythonos. It's kind of an isolated nation because there are magical laws there, 3 laws that are imposed on everyone who lives there, and they're quite strict. So people who live there like to live there generally, and people who don't want to move there generally. But it's that's probably the extent of what you would know about it.
Cool.
You do know that Azarketi societies avoid building even undersea civilizations within the Spiral Sea, which is within the realm, the justice of Astropor.
Right.
Because the Triska law affects everyone in that geographic region, regardless of above or below surface. So it's avoided by Azarketi.
Got it.
All right. AJ, did you have any questions? There was actually quite a bit of lore that may or may not have. Kai may or may not have had some commentary on. No
No,
pressure.
I mean, I think I'm as much as I'm gonna have right now.
Okay, sounds good. Let's roll on into it then. I do want to point out there are 2 macros that I dropped into the chat. They should be the most recent things in the chat. If you have spare space on your hotbar at the bottom, recommend these 2 macros very highly. The reason being, as occurred recently in a different Pathfinder game that Devin runs, I discovered that we don't always do secret checks correctly. Theoretically, a privately rolled check should only be privately rolled if the action in question has the secret trait. So most things don't need to be rolled in secret. The beauty of rolling these macros, specifically for recall knowledge, and really any of the macros that you can tug or pull or grab out of that basic action macros list, is going to automatically post with, if it's secret, it'll post private. If it's not secret, it'll post whatever your default is on the sheet. So if you go ahead and change your roll mode in the bottom to public roll, and then always use the basic action macros, it'll roll privately if it's supposed to be secret. You don't have to think about it. And it'll roll publicly if it's not supposed to be secret. So that gives you guys that clarity on, when your hero points can be used and that kind of thing.
You might have to go and pull it from the compendium itself. I pulled it from the
chat,
and it didn't. It's not working for me. But you can go to the compendium and look them up.
You can. The recall knowledge one is super helpful. It does not live in the same pack as the basic action macro pack. It's written by someone else. But it does really cool stuff. If you have an enemy targeted when you click it, it rolls against that, like the actual recall knowledge traits off of that enemy. So it helps me to know, without looking, how you rolled against them to learn something about them. And then
It was
if you
recall
don't,
knowledge and what?
basic action macros. Should have a little gold diamond.
Oh, I see.
Yep. Did it roll anything to you?
It hasn't been rolling
Okay.
anything for me.
Yeah, it has.
It doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't show it on our. That's why I was curious. I was testing to see what happened on our side, which is nothing.
Nothing. It's a secret roll. I also like it because while this might not feel great, sometimes I might want to roll a recall knowledge check for you without telling you to roll it, to see if you recall something. Anyway. That will also help if you want to continue to roll. Generally, the reason that this doesn't work in our games is because when I say roll, I say something like roll an Arcana check. What you typically do is go to your proficiencies page and click on the Arcana and click roll, right? Well, that's not technically rolling a recall knowledge check, which is what I really mean most of the times when I say roll an Arcana check. I mean recall knowledge Arcana. So it does not automatically secret it. Semantics. Hey, Cam's here. He missed all of that. Great.
He's been here for a lot of the recap, though.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
I've been here for
The whole time.
I've been here the
was
whole
waiting for that.
time.
15 minutes or so.
Oh. I don't know how I missed that.
something.
Cool. So we're just waiting on Chavis, but we are going to go ahead and get into the game. I'm going to unpause it. You all are in this room. Let me go ahead and remind you what you're looking at here. On a sandy, muddy, shoal-ridden shore, where the sea becomes pluff mud and swamp, an ancient elven structure emerges from the silt, surrounded by myriad swamp life, lily pads, and other large amphibious things such as river drakes. You can see that the pieces of the elvish tower which pierce up through the mud have been reappropriated by a number of swamp-dwelling beings over the years, and none of the tower is in its original state. Having crossed over to this piece of the structure and found Jovi in this room, you are now standing in a tall, what might have been a spire at some point, with that sandstone floor. The ground in this chamber is littered with scraps of very expensive looking crystal lenses. Might have been used in a spyglass or telescope, and in fact there is one nearly destroyed, a non-functioning telescope sitting on the table here on the southern side of this room. This room has no roof, no ceiling, although it is quite tall, perhaps 15-20 feet before the jagged, snaggletooth walls make way for the overcast, drizzling sky above you. You find. Yep.
Good. Sorry. Say if no one's going to take the broken telescope, I'm going to take the broken telescope.
I was gonna say if no one's gonna take the broken telescope.
Okay. Okay. It is one bulk. It's not a small thing. But it's like roughly the size of like a rifle.
I'll take like the broken pieces, and you can. And how about that?
The lenses on the ground?
Yeah, I'll try to like collect just to at least have an idea of what they.
Yeah.
If anyone's gonna fix, if anyone's gonna
Yeah.
fix it, it's gonna be me.
Make a thievery check for me.
Basic actions. This is not a basic action.
It's not. It's an actual skill check.
But
I know I
This
gave you that
is,
whole spiel, and then the first thing I told you to do was not listed under basic actions.
it's fine. I'll just use disable device from this. Also, there's that thing the
Is it secret?
item mode adding. It can be,
Oh.
but we'll
No,
do
it's
yeah.
not if it's not tagged secret, it shouldn't be secret.
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's the thing. I don't know if this is tagged secret because I'm not using the thing.
Yes. Let me
I'm
actually.
asking you if it's tagged secret, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that
Do I-
first thing that we talked about just then that you mentioned.
Do I need to make a theory check if I'm just taking it off the table?
No.
Okay. We'll add.
The trap just goes off when you do that.
It's going to add broken. It's just a broken telescope, right?
It is. I mean, do you think it is?
That's what he wants you to think.
And
Okay,
you said
anybody
it's one
who-
bulk.
Yes. Anybody who uses a weapon, I need you to go into that or has hand wraps. We're doing a weird hybrid of the rules, and it's not strictly supported by the system, so we have to do a workaround. Go into your weapons and give yourself the +1 potency rune on all
Already
of
had
your
that.
weapons. Okay, nice.
I also need to do that, but I have to do my elemental blast because of the gate attenuator because it has not been adding.
It will
But
now.
I don't
do it.
It will. Okay.
What?
I will do for Kai if you want me to.
I would love to know how to do this thing, but I don't have a lot of brain cells. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yours should work automatically because you have hand wraps of mighty blows.
Okay. It is there now. Okay. Awesome.
So
So we just go
Do I
in
just,
and
They
give
just
a
have
potency.
potent.
What I'm essentially doing is automatic bonus progression, but I want to also
Gotcha.
allow item bonuses. And so in normal automatic bonus progression, like gloves of healing don't apply a +1.
You just get a plus. You
Because
choose.
You choose one. Yeah. So I'm doing a weird kind of thing where instead what I'll wind up doing is just giving everybody potency runes for free.
And striking when
And
at next
striking
level.
when they become appropriate. Yeah. That does mean for
Understood.
marshals that you will basically, I'll do this for Chavis right now because he's dealing with multiple weapons. Any weapon you pick up, you'll need to go in and modify and add all of the appropriate runes to, because you
We
get them on.
technically-
The appropriate level, yeah.
You are that good at using the weapon. I'm not actually incorporating runes into the lore of the game, but you have to modify the game to make it work.
We should all technically have to. We all kind of have to put in potentially if we ever want to use an unarmed strike. Our unarmed strike also technically do.
Yeah, maybe I can. I wonder if there's a feature I could write. Anyway,
That
if
does
you're a,
sound
if
like
you're a spellcaster, you don't need to do anything.
great.
I mean, if you don't actually carry a weapon. If you're a spellcaster
Well,
that has a
it's-
dagger and you might even remotely, maybe one day, swing that dagger at someone, you should go in and fix the dagger. But
It'll matter for armor too when we get there.
When we get there, yes.
Noted.
All right. So that's the housekeeping out of the way. Let's go ahead and jump into the game.
So, did you want that to be a secret check?
Not
Okay.
unless is disabled device supposed to be secret?
I'm not making a disabled device check. I'm just
That's
using
what you
this
told me
as
it
the.
was.
No,
Oh, okay.
you asked me to make a thievery check, and I said I'm going to use disabled device
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's the thing, the button that I have.
Gotcha.
So I'm asking you, do you want this to be a secret check or not?
No.
Okay.
Good talk.
Yeah, I know it's early. I don't care
It's
though.
pretty early.
I'm not using my reroll for this.
All right. Sounds good. Mason, make sure you add your evergreen hero point and your 10 experience points in case you did not.
Sure did.
Broken lenses, I'm gonna guess are negligible weight.
They are negligible. That's correct.
Okay, I'll put those in here.
And they are made of crystal, not glass.
Do any of them vibrate when I channel my elements?
When you
I'm
channel your
joking.
elements,
That
no.
it doesn't do anything when I channel them. Do they? And who happen when I do use borrowed time?
Are you gonna use borrowed time real quick?
I am going to
mean-
use borrowed time at this moment to see if any of those crystals, in fact.
I look over at Kijani, whose light is still up.
None of them appear to be reacting.
Great news.
They're crystal in the way that, like, like fine wine glasses are crystal, not in the like Swarovski is crystal, not necessarily in the way that the Veo is made of amethyst. But good thought.
Well, you never know.
Mm-hmm. You're 100% right. So, party, team, cohorts.
Describe this place for me. If I were to say, like, found at.
The
Where would
ruined
you-
keep.
Thank you.
I was like, I just spent so long describing this place.
Yeah, I mean, like,
To the north side of the room, there are a pair of double doors nearly rotted off of their hinges.
I think it's gonna be hard to get through that way because I'm pretty sure the roof caved in from the other side. But we can try to not walk around right by the water for now.
Das River Drake.
What's your character's name?
Who?
Deadman.
More. Moraine. More for sure.
Mary for sure.
More for sure.
Jovi. It's Jovi. Say Jovi.
Yep. Jovi's stump is now angry, inflamed, itchy, flesh stitched over after some magical healing and some wound treatment from Ceridwen, but he is no longer actively bleeding out. He does still look like more. You would think he looks pale. Everyone else, he looks pretty blue. But you don't really have a frame of reference for how blue he's supposed to be. He still looks a little weak, but theoretically he could be helped hobble along. He did insinuate last time too that he could probably swim if the waters were safe. You're skeptical of that, but
If
he
the
seems
waters
confident.
were safe.
I would also like to point out too that the whole reason we had wanted to do that was to keep his true identity secret.
Yes. In
yeah,
returning to
because
Ganphar.
that would be a lot closer to Ganphar, though.
Yeah, true. Also, it was pointed out specifically that Moraine does not want for David to know about any of this, or anyone else in Ganphar Town to know about Azarketi.
Right. Or the nature of the
Yep.
Unagi clan.
Yep, all that wants to be kept secret.
Oh, So
fair.
not David doesn't even know that. Okay,
No,
got you.
nobody.
Correct.
That important note to write.
And this, we clearly have our secrets, and you'll likely get in on some of them more. We, at least I think we're planning on speaking with David about them, so some of this will come out there too at some point, I'm sure. But we have our missions here but we'll be glad to help you getting back into town. That's the whole point. That's part of why
we
we're here.
appreciate that. Well, if you guys have anything else, I guess you need to look around in this building. But
Sarah Twin also does say, and just in case it needs to be said, we would prefer if you didn't mention that we were from Astroport.
of course, hey, you guys scratch my back, I scratch yours, right?
Above table, Jovi is still, based on his picture, he's not wearing like very many clothes, correct?
Well, sure.
Well, I'm asking because he is as Arcady, I'm assuming his gills are out.
Yeah.
Right, I'm assuming.
Yeah, his
I
gills
will
follow
go.
his rib cage.
I will go over to him and reach into my pack and say, so these might be baggy, but these might work. I'm going to give him the sailor's clothes that were once bloody but were prestidigitated by Veteran
Okay.
for him to wear to cover his unmentionables up.
I suppose it'll have to do. Thank you. He kind of wriggles into the
You-
shirt. He
You do
leaves
not
the
need
rest.
to return. You do not need to return them because they are from a dead man. So they have been cleaned. They have been cleaned. They've been cleaned.
Yes, I saw to that.
Okay. Well,
Anyways, I'll sit tight here with Joey for a second if you guys want to go look around. I don't think he's much up for walking right now.
or ever.
He did lose a leg.
I mean, such things can be replaced. Ollie and Veteran, as you pass through this hall, it is clearly a gallery hall. There are paintings hung on the walls. They are well past ruin, nigh indistinguishable from just like mud and scrape, but the canvas is wrought through in several places. You can tell they were at one point portraits. At the end of the hall, down here on the right, you're able to enter this room. It is apparently a study of some kind, or was. The roof is collapsed, and everything in here is basically ruined.
Shall we look in this closet?
I tried. Seems the door is locked. No
Yeah.
worries. I have tools for that. There's this button. Pick up my thieves' tools,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to unlock this door, presuming it's actually locked and not just broken, caved in. Potentially.
It was locked until you used tools it. It is now no longer locked.
You see, it was locked, I say as I jerk the door open until I thieves tooled it. And then I found some stairs, not a room. Wow, okay. This does go down.
You appear into a dark, musky spiral staircase. As you're saying out loud your little thing about the thieves' tools, you can hear your voice echo and echo and echo, echo down into the dark depths.
Fool of a tour crew.
I didn't drop anything.
Well, what's in the other? What's in the other door? Vestron
Ah.
whispers.
A desk. I don't know.
Yep, it's a
There's a
small
saw.
workshop. There's a crosscut saw, usually meant for bringing down lumber, and some other implements, tools. Oh,
There's a
Leander, did you
scary-
wanna?
There's a scary stairwell. I did step in. If that matters at all.
It doesn't, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
will.
got the stairs and like, oh no.
I will above table remind you that this is the beginning of a. I will very metagame tell you.
Yeah.
This is the first level of a mega dungeon, small dungeon.
Yeah.
That you could come back to at some point in your campaign careers. That I recommend you don't do until you're at least level 10.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh,
Just
like
to clarify,
You know
mega
what?
and small mean opposite things.
Yes.
I
It's a mega dungeon in that it's a classic dungeon. I probably wouldn't use the full all of it.
but it does require.
It's not an ultra mega stargaze dungeon. It's just a
is-
mega dungeon.
Is this the? I actually might have it. Can I take the other key that we have? And is this the other spot? that
the
keys are
third
used
key?
for? Yeah.
I don't remember, so sure.
Okay.
I'll be real with you. I know there were 3 keys.
It's like I just lock it back and like, yeah, we're something tells me
Okay.
not to go down there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, if you'd like, you can seek in this room.
You can what? Sneak?
Seek is the official
Sneak.
action for look around.
Is that the basic action macro?
It is
Yes,
in the
it is.
basic action macros. Yeah.
I've clicked. You do not have permission to execute macro.
So
quote,
remember
basic
that thing that I
action
said?
macro.
Just
Where
kidding.
you
You need
told
to go
it-
get it out of the
yeah.
compendium. I lied to you. You did great, Cam.
Yeah.
I'm
That-
gonna be honest. I totally missed
Yeah.
most of what you
I did
said.
put it in the chat, but it from the chat doesn't work.
didn't
You
realize
have to
that.
do it. You have to go to the compendium and look it up again separately and pull it from there.
Okay, and that is basic action macros. That's what I need to search for.
Yep. And the other one is recall_knowledge.
Okay, there's that. Just a moment. Okay, I've clicked the basic action macros.
Okay.
Seek is the.
Yep.
I've selected that. Should it be blind GM roll?
If you select seek, it should automatically set the. So this is you probably missed this. This is why I'm recommending clicking the actual action macros from now on, because it should take over when things are blind and not. If you set your main role down in the right to public.
Yes, I did. So
Okay.
what I'm saying is it brings up the seek perception check, and it auto sets the roll mode to blind GM roll. I just am
Then, yeah.
clarifying that it's actually correct.
Yeah, whatever it auto sets to, that's correct.
Okay. I have rolled.
Makes it that seek is
Okay.
a secret check. All right. Yeah, as it looks like Oleander and Vestron are looking around in the room. Anyone else before I give the results?
I'm just here in case something bad happens.
All right. Reasonable. Oleander, as you kind of are like looking in the cabinet over here, you like pull out a drawer and it falls all the way out, falls apart. You do see a scroll that it seems to be remarkably well preserved that falls out with it. As you reach to pick it up, a creature jumps out of the desk. What are you doing here? You're not allowed here. No one is allowed here.
Is that what the fuck?
Is that a babe?
Hello.
No hello, only goodbye.
I don't like that. Are you okay?
Seriously, are you not going to leave?
You-
Are you laughing now? I'm quite terrifying.
You are actually.
Well, you're more creepy than terrifying.
Well, then creep away.
What's your name?
Why do you want to know?
Well, so that I can refer to you by your given name
No
instead of
referring, only leaving. You're
no.
not supposed to be here.
According to whom?
According to me.
Well, my word is just as good as yours, and according to us, we are supposed to be here.
Besides,
Fine.
we're stuck. That door is. See, I point at the jammed door.
Yes,
So we can't.
I closed
we're
it,
stuck.
locked it, kind of. Couldn't figure out the lock. Stopped it.
But now you're preventing us from leaving.
How did you get in?
Hoisted
Did you
by
come
your
up the
petard.
stairs?
No, what's down there?
Great, good. Go back the way you came.
Tell us what's down there. We'll force you down there.
You can't.
Would you like to find out?
Sure.
Kijani's wondering what's going on. Walks back.
Let's see. Hang on, I have to look at the picture. Bessern reaches over and grabs by the scruff of the
Demon baby?
lei that it's wearing.
Yeah, your hand passes right through its incorporeal body.
So you're a ghost.
How rude.
Well,
I
if
don't
you won't
think you're
tell us
supposed-
what you are, then we will assume things.
I'm not a ghost. Ghosts are
What?
pleasant.
Well, I'm not really having that much of a terrible time.
Can you pretend?
Are you protecting this scroll here?
What? No.
Okay.
You got the
something had
scroll?
it then.
Yes, take
Yes,
it, leave, go. Go, shoo, shoo.
I take the scroll.
Did I find anything when I sought?
Use it. Seeked? It was seeking.
Does anybody have that ghost touch dagger? We could like send him on.
Yeah.
How do you know
So he
it?
wasn't a ghost.
How
Wait,
do
I'm
you
not
know
a
it's real?
ghost.
Well, what is your name?
Tangletop.
Tangletop. Very lovely to meet you.
No, it isn't.
It's really just a figure of speech.
I'm supposed to be
Are you
scary.
supposed to be scary? Oh, okay.
What?
Are you a mind reader?
Why are you trying to
Maybe.
scare us? Are
That's
you
what I
hiding
do.
something?
No.
It's what you do.
Yes.
That's your whole purpose in life, is to scare people.
Well, life is a strong word.
Okay, that's your whole purpose of being then.
Well, right now, yes.
Well, this isn't a very good place to scare people. There aren't that many people who come through here, I would imagine. You're
Well,
not
there
really
used to be.
fulfilling your purpose.
How long ago?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
know what time is?
A day or two. What? Of course I know what time it is. It's some time.
What did you just look at?
My my sundial.
Okay.
You are facing southerly.
There's no sun inside here.
Want to buy a dial?
What am I, a sundial? Exactly. Look, if you could just run away screaming, it would be a huge favour to me. You got your bloody scroll.
Who are you trying to impress? I'm still, I'm
What?
rather confused here.
My brothers.
Are you on performance review?
Your brothers. Okay.
Yes.
And are they alike in stature to yourself?
I'm not sure I like your tone.
Inquisitive.
They are not like me at all.
Well, what do they look like so we can tell them how terribly frightful you are
They look
when we see them?
They look terrifying, but not quite as terrifying as me. They're a little bit older. They were maybe 15 or 20 when they were killed, and I was only 6.
I see. And can I tell if this is like a child elf?
Yeah, you can. It would have been an infant.
Oh
Even
yeah,
at-
elves in Pathfinder art are gonna have solid eyes.
Yes. All elves in Pathfinder art have solid black eyes.
Oh.
Although we don't.
So
Correct.
that is not indicative of
No.
demon baby.
Demonic
That is indicative of just.
No.
just
Yeah, so just
baby.
like
Okay.
ancestry, yeah, make that modification. For
Got
for Pathfinder lore in Galarian, the official setting for Pathfinder, elves have like solid black ink eyes. That is
I see.
not unusual.
Also
It's so sad.
Okay.
canonically from Venus.
Um,
I think.
how long have you been here? Were you
I
here?
don't-
Were you around when this was built?
Built?
Yes.
Probably not. I don't know. If I was, I don't remember.
You were here when it was cursed and taken down to the depths.
I'm 6. Wow.
You're actually likely thousands of years old. That's fair. But
Thousands. That's higher than I can count.
So it would be tens, but
okay, here. You know what? Yeah, I feel like we have more to learn from you eventually. Not
It's
now.
been at least 2 weeks since I died.
I
Well-
grab a bundle of books and throw them in the air, pages fluttering and run away screaming.
Ha! 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 Ah! Got you.
Best says, "Oh no, please don't."
Make a
I would like to make a performance check with
Performance-
disadvantage.
performance or deception.
With disadvantage? I am not trying very hard.
Yeah, sure. Disadvantages. Yes. Keep lower.
Kijani's gonna shrug and be like, I mean, any opportunity to act a little more childish.
Oh, sorry. I need to do the action thing, right?
That was actually a 30.
Hang on. Shit. I gotta adjust my expectations here. Hang on. Sorry.
You're fine. I don't know that there is a performance-based skill in the, because it's not a basic action. In this case, it really is just a
Just
Fascinate,
skill.
I think, might be a.
Fascinating.
perform.
condition.
Oh, there's a perform.
Well,
Alphabetically perform,
do you want me to use that? I'll use that.
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay.
and then click keep lower.
Shit. Ah, yeah. It's in the P's. Where-
Alphabetically,
yeah.
even.
where-
Brilliant. Yes, this is appropriate. This is appropriate.
Kijani like takes a deep breath and goes and runs as fast as he can.
You just see Oleander come in, gains panache for just as long as you can gain it out of combat.
Yeah, you can hear the cackling from Tangletop.
So, here's the thing I just want you to know for future reference. There will be other people coming to take over this area. More opportunities to scare people, but you're going to need to work on it a little bit, I think. Have a wonderful day. I am scared. I am running. Oh, woe is me and my fear, my deathly fear of the elven baby dressed like a baby doll.
Before you get out of
Oh
range,
Lord. Okay. All right. All right.
You done pissed her off.
what's your will DC?
75.
18.
Great. Yep.
Okay, she does not critically succeed, but she does regularly succeed at demoralizing you as she screams and her whole jaw opens around her pointy teeth and another head just like it but without skin comes out of her mouth and also screams at you.
Beetlejuice like in nature.
That's pretty terrifying.
Okay, that I will say will probably get people
You
if
you
they
have the
were
frightened one condition for 6 seconds.
if they were not as strong of mind as I was. I am leaving now. That's
You can
disturbing.
any of you can make a recall knowledge occultism check. Could call for it.
Occultism. You're kind of breaking up there, Sid. Vestron tries to remember if she's heard something related to this. Is that what other people's says, except for insert?
Yeah, that's what we were all saying earlier. Like, it doesn't do anything for us. But I don't know what it looks like.
Oh, I clicked it like 4 times.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Sid. I have a bunch of, I have a bunch of rolls. Can I tell you something? I wasn't super paying attention when I first logged in. I
Yeah,
apologize for that.
No worries. Okay. Okay. No, that's also Vestron. That's also Vestron. All right. Actually, ironically, Oleander is the only one who recognizes that this is likely a poltergeist. It's a kind of ghost, in a way. But not-
That's something we might have to remove at some point, but that's not what we're here to do right now. Also, it is interesting to have, if she is dead from that long ago. I think she's a poltergeist, though.
I mean,
like
Geist
Rose-
is ghost in German, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's German?
I mean, I said she was a ghost. She got very offended.
I don't think you're supposed. I think that's actually like a thing. You're not supposed to ask ghosts if they're ghosts. It makes them mad.
Oh, I thought it was like if you're a ghost and someone asks you if you're a ghost, you're supposed to say you're not a ghost? Or is that just that's a different thing?
No, that's town gods.
Gotcha.
If you ask a town guard if they're a guard, they have to tell you.
Ah,
Definitely. There are no town guards things. There are no undercover town guards.
Yeah.
If I were to know what this was, I could be able to do something with it. However, I hand the scroll to Fesserin. I have to know what it is first, and honestly, you get first dibs anyway.
I recognize this scroll.
Yeah, hold on. Let me grab it. Whoops. Let me put it in your inventory. But don't look, because I have to mystify it first.
Okay. I won't look.
I
when I-
get misty.
That's a great song, Jerry.
It is a very good song.
Unironically, actually, it's one of my favorite.
All right, you now have on your character sheet an unusual scroll.
Unusual scroll. Scroll. Unusual scroll.
And you should have a little question mark next to it to identify it, which will trigger the right kind of check.
Okay. A question mark next to it, like the.
Yeah, if you go down to your consumables and your items and go down to the very bottom one, it says unusual scroll. And then on the right-hand side, you've got a play button, which is cast. An equip button, which you can't do on a scroll. And the very next thing is a question mark and a bubble.
Okay. I don't have any of that except for the equip button and change carry type garbage button.
Weird. Devin,
Yes.
how do you make them identify it? As the GM. Can you right-click it?
Just a moment. Let me see.
It might be
Usually-
something you do on your end, actually, Sid.
I know that there has. I know what you're saying. 'Cause I feel like there
Yeah.
has been a time when we were able to.
Because I also have an unusual liquid that I have not identified.
Okay. So you can attempt to identify this. I have to tell you now, it will take 10 minutes. Do you want to spend 10 minutes identifying the scroll?
Thoughts? Party?
Time is a construct of which we have so much of it.
Great. Yes, I'll take 10
So-
minutes.
Okay.
We're still, like,
Jovi's actively
casually-
dying, but that's fine.
No, we're giving him water.
Just
We have a
kidding.
bucket. We're giving him
Kidding.
water.
We have a bucket.
We're throwing.
Well,
we're
realistically, we have to get a new one every. There's like 15% chance, 20% chance that you get
I
a new
mean,
one every time.
it says it. Yeah, there's a 5%. Well, hold on. I think it is a 10%.
I like to think of Tofros as just like Edward Elric, just like bucket.
We have been throwing ducats and ducats of
He's
water.
even short. If only he were blonde. Do you have a thing now? I figured out how to do it. It's in the chat.
I see it in the chat. I'm gonna use Arcana.
Yeah, because it's not the actual spell itself is not specific. You can use. Actually,
Anything.
It might be.
Right? Was it a thing you did?
It was a thing I did to call it to the chat.
Aha!
Don't aha me.
I rolled.
You can use Arcana or Occultism.
I already rolled Arcana.
You did. You succeed. As such, you identify a scroll of carryall.
Vestrin says, "Ah, yes, this is a scroll of carryall."
Which, to give you the synopsis, creates a nearly invisible floating disc that can hold like several hundred pounds, and like it follows behind you like a pet. So you can haul things.
Oh, is this
Like
a replacement
people.
for Tensor's floating disc?
Floating disc, yes, carryall.
Okay.
Creates a hovering platform. Yeah.
It's quite useful, actually.
You just can't carry people.
Oh, not like people.
That's less useful.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's meant for like
Can you
treasure.
carry
Treasure.
bodies? Oh,
Technically, corpses are items.
so yes, excellent.
I don't
that
know.
I've
Don't
done
ask me how the spell knows. It's a good way to check if someone's alive or not. Toss them on the carryall.
If they fall through, they're not dead. Until
They're
they
not
hit
dead
the
yet.
ground.
I'm not dead yet.
There's an
Very much.
archetype you can take that allows you to ride on like a hoverboard.
That's
Oh,
true.
nice. So you're
What?
rolling around looking like Yoda.
It's called magical trickster. So it takes like these cantrips and it lets you do weird
Cantrips
things
to
with
first
them.
level spells and like modifies them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd actually love to make that archetype a like pursuable thing in the game that is like a downtime thing instead of an archetype dedication.
Which,
I think those are really cool.
which one?
Magical trickster, I think.
Magical
Is what it's called.
trickster. You could take a spell and like learn a new
Yeah.
use for that spell and change its mechanics.
Okay. Well, it's a scroll of carry-all. I might attempt to learn that later.
Was there anybody else who wanted to do something in the 10 minutes that was occurring while Vestron studiously?
If someone wanted to treat wounds on me, I wouldn't be upset, but
Are you not immune to
Aye.
treat wounds?
I don't know. I don't remember what if that was not part of the notes that I took last session.
I think you're immune to treat wounds for
Okay,
probably the next 30 minutes.
gotcha. Okay.
I just want to keep you nice and vulnerable in case you run into the river drake.
Gotcha. I understand.
All right, team. So this
I did-
door is not necessarily barred in the poltergeist room, but the DC to force it open is higher because you critically failed once. You could leave via that
Yeah,
way.
who did that?
Who did that? But you could leave by the way you came.
I'm going to be, as we begin exiting, helping Jovi
Yeah.
on his lane side.
So you'll be moving much
Suppose
more
we're
slowly.
going out.
Yeah. Half speed,
Direction.
probably.
Yeah.
Not that way. Not that way.
Kai. Kai.
No, not that way. I was going to move this way a little bit to be like, I'm gonna be at least letting them being a block in case the river drake comes this way. I'll let it up to me and not Jovi.
I have a question. Is it just my client or is the game paused?
The game's paused.
How is he moving?
He was moving and I paused him.
Oh.
Kai, I need for you to make a will saving throw for me, please.
Is this public or?
Go to your character sheet and on the left, in the banner,
Yeah,
find the will.
is it public or is it?
Whatever it says it is.
Okay.
Just trust the sheet. Unless it says it's going to be blind, it's not going to be blind. Oh. Right. I'm trying to eliminate that question because I feel like it gets overused because GMs are overly cautious.
Okay.
18 is the DC. All right, that's great. As it happens, you walk out to the end of the dock, and you notice that you've been following a series of swirling lights. At first, you thought they were just fireflies. You get to the end of the dock, and you see that they are spinning around. They seem to have no corporeal essence. It's just spinning, whirling lights, and you kind of just like watching them, almost fascinated. But you kind of shake your head and take a couple steps back. You think it's best probably to leave them be.
Don't go over there, Ollie.
Wasn't planning on it. Thanks.
Don't look at the fireflies. They're not fireflies.
Why don't you go? Oh, that's not the character I'm supposed to be controlling.
Don't go chasing
you're fine.
fireflies.
Go this way.
Hop. All right. As Jovi, might take a couple of you to help Jovi across this narrow gap. He's moving
Yeah,
between you. Yeah.
But I'm still like just like.
Can someone move Sari?
I don't know who can. If not
Yeah,
me.
that's the wrong way, Kajani. That's the. I don't let you go that way, Kajani, because we've already been warned about it.
Which way? Oh,
He tried to go down the dock.
Veteran, make an acrobatics balance.
Oh, goody. Okay. Did everybody else make one?
No,
No,
you
no,
went the other
no.
way.
Everyone else went the other way around.
Aim.
Oh. Oh, shit. Okay. No, it's not in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the actions.
It is balance.
Oh, balance. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I would like to use. This is a public roll,
Okay, so you can wait to see the result before deciding.
but if I use my hero point, then I have to take the second one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fuck it. Let's roll here.
You are not able to proceed any further along this path, but you also do not fall down the slick and slippery slope into the river.
Okay. So this was success or a fail or.
It is a success.
Okay. All right.
You could have critically succeeded to make it all the way across here and been on the far side.
No,
If
that's
you'd like
okay.
to try for that, okay.
No, I am honestly surprised I didn't end up like ass first in the water.
Me too. As the party makes their way, I guess Oleander's like,
Yeah, I will make. I was moving Siri when that happened. I would have. Oleander would have prevented that if I was paying attention to what happened. But I couldn't.
It's okay. That is my issue as a player. I was not paying attention to where everybody else was going.
theoretically, Jovi will be here. Actually, I can do a thing. This guy, target. This guy, go to.
Who's targeting? Wait a minute.
What?
I think he's trying to make Joey follow me.
Damn it.
Yes. Token attacher, key A.
Oleander and Siri
Siri,
are dancing.
Like do-si doing.
Oh,
Maybe I can't.
Oh, what does that mean?
All right. I'm gonna say at this point, you guys are fairly out of risk of any additional danger, and you can further make your way from this dungeon without
as
incident,
you.
unless you
Where's
put
the River
yourself
Drake?
unless you put yourself in danger. As you mentioned that, actually, a creature rears its head, and you can all see very briefly a creature look up at you from below in the river, kind of like. Where it then resubmerges itself.
That would have been bad if I'd fallen in there.
It seems to be following you.
Okay.
That's good.
TikTok.
I'm not gonna. We don't need to do this thing that we're doing.
Ain't doing a thing.
Yeah, I will say that for
We're just gonna make our way
Moving on
back
the
now,
map.
right?
making my way. Yeah. You can now kind of disregard the map as it stands. You guys are going to be making your way back overland across the swamp. So re-kitting your wide bottom swamp marsh shoes and your oilskin cloaks to protect against the moisture, and helping Jovi along. You all begin to make your way back along the coast southward. As I mentioned, it's only
Can I
about.
try to like take some like rope and tie Jovi, like to one of us for support, kinda?
Describe to me, from an engineering perspective, what you're talking about.
Like, kind of putting him side by side with somebody, because he's only got one leg. So if you had a center of balance of like a third leg in between, like somebody with two legs, like kind of tied to Jovi, like it'd be easier for him to like make it along.
Oh.
I feel like just having his arm over his shoulder is less painful
Maybe.
for everybody involved.
Or
At the very least, he breathes out of his
Topher
rib.
could fashion a prosthetic
Ah.
for the journey out
It has a
of
5%
his,
chance of failing every time he steps.
has a 5% chance of that'd be kind of funny
I think
actually.
if that was a 10%.
Right now, Jovi is fine. I will say that Sari is helping. He needs to, like... It could be Sari or Ollie, but those are the only two normal height. Or matching more in height. They can stand on either side. I guess technically Kai is close. He's not short, but I don't think he's quite as tall as
Hollow
Ollie.
bone.
He does have hollow bones.
I'm not very structurally sound, you see.
Because he's a government drone.
That's right. I'm very cheaply made. I am made by the government.
Mm. You're made by a third-party manufacturer that the government pays too much
Mm-hmm.
Right.
for too little.
But the money all goes to profits and not the actual product. So, like,
Right.
it's very poorly made.
Yeah, true. So true. Anyways, we say that the party is... I'll actually take this away from this map. Take it back to the landing. As you all... begin to travel overland over the marshes. It's only about 8 miles back to Ganphar Town. It is getting late into the evening when you arrive finally back at the first like driven night. Yeah, it's getting close to the evening when you get to the first like stake that's driven into the ground and has this like rope that marks the official path out here, which tells you you're about halfway back to Ganphar Town. The sun is beginning to set, and as it does so, you can see to the west a gorgeous, deep orange, pink, peach colored sunset casts through what has been a dreary and overcast day all day today, painting a long streak of this kind of peach colored rays of sunlight along the ocean. Because basically out to your right, as you're traveling south, it's just ocean. It's just the bay to the horizon. But it's probably
You don't really see
getting
beautiful
close to...
sunsets like that.
Saradwin! I mean, Jonathan! Also Saradwin!
Hello.
Hello.
I feel like there's a flashback to like when they first got on the boat to leave Astroport and they saw the sunset, but they saw the sunset, they like saw Astroport in the sunset.
Yeah, this is definitely that anime moment.
Yeah.
We're gonna spend 3 episodes on the flashback.
Nice.
John, how long have you been here? Do you need to get caught up?
Like 30 seconds.
All right, awesome.
Yes.
So the party basically investigated the remainder of the structure, found a poltergeist who was not very good at being a poltergeist, needed a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of help. Found a spell scroll. Found a spiral staircase that descends into the dungeon, which you decided not to further explore at GM warning and discretion.
There was like one of those pop-up things that said, "You must be level 10 to access this point."
That was the recommendation. You weren't... I should have made the DC on the lock higher. But Oleander did roll really well. on the lock. Fairly well on the lock. And that was all. That was all. Now you're on your way back to Ganphar Town. About halfway back as the sun is setting to the west, and you're at the position to either continue trekking through the swampy pluff delta of the Glasslands without the guidance of, well, it's a 3/4 moon. It would be dangerous, but you could press on through the night. You imagine you've got maybe about 2.5, 3 hours of travel left in ideal conditions. You've actually made it back to the road finally, so you could press on, or you could try and find a place to camp this evening.
How many hours would we be to get back?
2 to 3. Under
2 to 3,
good conditions.
Okay. Under ideal conditions. So that's how long it took you to get out to this point, by your recollection. That was during the day, and it was only lightly raining. It is now full-on raining, and it is nighttime. So you could guess probably a little bit longer than 2 to 3 hours, but who knows what you might encounter.
What do you think, Joey? It kind of seems like you might need a break at this point, right?
It's slow going, but if we want to push on through the night, I'm eager to get back to open ocean. But we could take a break if we need to. Just watch the swamp water out here on the land side more. I know it's weak, but it is full of gosh, what was the colloquial name for the drug?
We didn't have one. It's the pixie dust is the drug. Sorry, pixie dust is the drug.
It's full of fairy slick.
Fairy what?
Fairy slick.
Fairy slick. Okay.
Yeah. That's it's not great. And it is very difficult to see in dark.
I believe we are capable if you wish to continue, but if there
we're
is not
following you
much of a
guys.
rush.
I don't want to send him into the. I don't know what it's like seeing in the water. I don't want to send you to find your people on your own for that last leg. That last part. I'm sorry. That last part of the journey is going to be probably the most difficult part. I think it'd be better for you to rest for that.
All right, let's hunker down. It's raining lightly. Do you guys have camping equipment for that?
I
You could
think.
put up the hammocks as like
Yeah, we did get hammocks. We could.
Oilskin
Or
canvas
tent.
hammocks.
yeah.
And we do have
Yeah.
like
As opposed to
4-person tents, whatever.
You
Moore
could.
probably ain't got shit because he didn't expect to be out here for this long.
You're right. You can set up the hammocks and then set up the tents and then lay the hammocks over the top to be kind of water resistant, so they don't sink
Yeah.
right through.
Yeah.
We'll do
Well,
that.
my kind of imagination, because there's trees around, right?
Not really.
No. Oh, it's like wetlands, like
It's like-
Charleston.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of cattails and deceptively soft mud.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Yeah, I'm gonna do that then. I'll like drape the oilskin canvas hammock over top of mine, and then I'll nestle up with a Terracnida cloak
Okay,
as my blanket.
perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, and you have 2 4-person tents for this. What is now 7 of you. So you can easily make that same scenario work. You're gonna be a little bit packed in there, but all the better for warmth. Yeah, was someone gonna keep watch?
Sarah will keep first watch.
I'll
With
join
Kai?
Sarah. Oh,
Kai raised his hand,
I'll
which
do whatever.
I don't know how I saw that because it should be the person talking that shows up on my screen, but
then I'll take third watch.
okay.
For a second.
I'm also taking third watch.
I'll take second watch.
All right. Okay. Johnny, does that put you on second with?
I'll go second.
Okay. Moore on second with Oleander. I guess you're off the hook, Johnny.
Yeah. Danny will sleep.
Nice. So will Jovi. So you guys don't really have a campfire. You're eating. You've got some rations that you brought out just in case. They're all like preserved hardtack beef jerky situations. Not anything you have to warm up. Although, of course, Veteran offers to prestidigitate any. You've got like hard bread that she can warm up. It makes it slightly softer and fluffier. She can use prestidigitation to warm it up. Turns like that brick like ciabatta into something a little bit more palatable. But you all have dinner, and then Sirajwin and Chokai post up for the first watch. As per usual, gentlemen above table, you're welcome to engage in roleplay moments during watch. Camp time is a great time to catch up on your character development, but absolutely no compulsion or requirement to do so. If you'd like, you can just roll your blind perception checks.
Sarah's spending time cleaning the mud off of his boots.
Of which there is aplenty.
Why is it everywhere that we've gone since we've been together have to be absolutely disgusting?
Keeps you disciplined, right?
Would you care to elaborate on that? How is this keeping me disciplined?
Well, you have to keep yourself clean or else you'll be filthy all over.
And you two have the better of it, honestly, because Kai has hollow bones and kind of just tiptoes over the mud, and Saradwin has gravity vertex and just tiptoes over the mud.
Seems like a lot of our life has just been trying to keep ourselves from being filthy in one way or another.
Yeah, it's a part of life. Sometimes it isn't, but I think it's more fulfilling this way.
I think it's exhausting.
I think that's also fair to say.
Do you ever think about it?
I think about many things.
The fact that you're carrying around these vestiges of bygone gods.
Well, there isn't much that can be done about them. At least, not any more than we're already doing.
Not so much to say it should be done about it, but just the sheer fact that a bunch of knuckleheads found their way into the back of a shop and had a specific person born with a deformity that activated the sigil to thrust us into the middle of the eye of God. Never mind.
No,
It's
I mean,
just-
I feel it's pointless to put thought into that. If it wasn't us, it would have been somebody else, and at very least I know that we're decently good people. I try to find reassurance in that fact. It's a burden that shouldn't have been thrust on any of us, to be honest, but I don't think of any of us as malicious individuals or, anything bad, so keeping in mind that it would have been somebody, I'm glad it was us, at least.
I suppose you're right.
We can't control the hand we're dealt anyway. We can only play it to the best of our ability.
You read that somewhere?
Probably. May have heard it in a story once, or twice. But I think it's very apt.
You ever think about the word apt? It's just three letters, APT together, and it's just...
That is a weird word, isn't it?
It really, think about it, just...
I don't want to think about it. It makes my head hurt.
But if you just think about it, it's just,
It will make my head hurt worse. I don't know.
All right.
I'm finding mine right now.
Blind perception check.
Please tell me if I rolled low, that way I can know that thinking about the word apt fucked myself.
Neither of you failed this check.
Unlucky.
You do not notice anything over the course of this time. It seems that there's not a lot of activity out in the marsh. Even the local marsh creatures won't attempt to cross the bluff mud after dark, especially in the rain. So we proceed to middle watch with Oleander and Moore.
Yep.
All right. Again, obviously, same offer. You can. I won't say this every time, but feel free to jump right into character development, roleplay opportunity. It's perfect time for it. Or you can roll blind perception checks for me. Brilliant. Okay. The rain does pick up over the course of your watch, and it gets heavy enough, but it's still kind of it becomes much more difficult to see. The moonlight is almost a hindrance as it causes each individual raindrop to glisten slightly, like a sheet of dazzling rainfall, obscuring. You can't even see really out to the lagoon anymore. You don't see anything over the course of your watch, nor do you hear anything, but you don't know if you even would. If some predator would come close to you, you're not sure you would notice this. Hopefully the predators are also hunkering down for the night. So that brings us to the final watch. Sunrise service. Tovros and Vesrin.
Vesrin will break down her tent and pack it away.
Did you have 3 tents up? Or you had your own tent?
That was my... I didn't realize we only had 3. I thought everybody had their own tent.
Therefore, we have 2 tents.
I thought you had 2 4-person tents, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
I know I have a 4-person tent that I put up.
Never mind.
Maybe
I
Vesrin has
also
an
have a
individual
4-person tent.
Okay. Well, how I'm not saying... I had assumed that you had 2 4-person tents, and that if Vestrin got up and started breaking one down, she was about to just like cause 3 people to be rained on for the rest of the night. But
No,
if you have
I
your
will
own
not
tent, I'm
do
fine with
that.
that too. Yeah.
I was imagining we were each in our own tents, each with our own hammocks over top of the tents, and mostly what
gotcha.
I was doing, I was gonna tear it down so I could use the hammock as a poncho.
As a
But
poncho. Yeah.
if other people are sleeping in there, I would obviously
Okay.
not do that.
That's what I was thinking.
Tofros gets up and starts going through his forms, but at one point, like he does that for like 20 minutes, but then like sits down and starts, and he channels elements and is like basically taking a piece of metal that he has created and like manipulating it into different shapes. Um, and he's not looking at Vestrin, but he just starts talking.
Worth noting, it is raining.
Mhm.
So it's let up a little bit from the middle of the night, but it's still a persistent drizzle. And the ground, as you sit down on the ground, maybe this doesn't bother Tofros at all, but you sit down on the ground, it is like red clay. Not red, I should say, but like that kind of consistency silt. Even the road, which is poorly maintained but enough to get by on, is just mud. It's just better mud than the rest of the swamp.
Gotcha. Okay, so when he goes to sit down, he like will flash forge a metal chair
Okay.
because it can be a level 0 adventuring gear, which I think a
Chair's probably not
chair or
adventuring gear, but I would let it be like
a chair or a stool.
You would want something like a shield. Because like
Sure.
the chair legs are just gonna right into the mud.
Sure. Okay. So he's sitting now. He's mess with him, and he says, "Veteran,
Yes.
what is your goal?"
Well, I suppose right now I would like to be dry and to get back to Ganphar Town safely.
I was thinking a little bit more in the future than that, but
Oh,
like let's say
it's
we
not a timeline.
do in fact do the impossible and bring a veil back to life, and then decide, and then are successful in destroying it and then absorbing the vertices and all that. What will happen then?
Well, I suppose that is dependent upon the vertices that each of us absorbs.
Did you have one in mind?
Interesting choice of words. Well,
But other than the obvious, I assume you were going to just take the other one, but you may have options with others.
I mean, the mind vertex has been kind to me. Obviously, each one of them carries value and utility. I don't know that I would be able to utilize the others to their fullest extent.
Interesting.
I mean, perhaps the life vertex that Manigal had, but we saw how that went for him, so.
I suppose. How much studying did you do when you were at the university?
Well, university I studied all the time. That was sort of the point, wasn't it?
And of that time, did you ever question your own ability to succeed?
I suppose that's probably a natural thing for somebody who was thrust into a situation that they were not groomed for from the beginning. I think anybody who joins a field from the outside has a bit of imposter syndrome to contend with. I suffered that much the same as all my other peers who were not born and raised in Leonia.
Understood.
Did you have a vertex in mind, other than the one you're toying with now?
I don't know. I think the time one is interesting, and if in fact I get better control of it, I think it would be very useful.
What is
How do you study is the question, and it disappears from his hand. He looks at you.
um? Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand the question. I mean, well, at university we would go to lecture and be lectured on a given topic. Each of us in turn would take our notes, and then in the time after the lesson we would review and revise those notes, and hopefully master the material that was presented, such that when it came time for another lecture from that same professor, we were ready to expand upon that which we had mastered previously.
Yes, you explain that in such a way that it makes me not want to study.
Oh, it's not fun. The point, studying itself is not fun. The fun part is what you can do once you've mastered what you are meant to have been studying.
Okay.
So, for instance, had I not studied, I wouldn't be able to do this. And she casts light off into the distance.
Okay.
Just sends a ball of light.
Yeah.
Until it reaches like the distance limit for light, and then
The max range, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, having the same effect the sometimes present moonlight has on the sheet curtain of rain, just causing glistening lights, almost making it more difficult to see because of the rainfall.
And then Vesperin says, I also couldn't do this. And then she casts message and speaks directly into Topheros's head without moving her lips. And she says, I can speak to you without anyone else hearing.
That is a little creepy.
And she
But-
casts ignition and holds it up to her face so you can see that her mouth is not moving while she's talking to you.
See, here's the thing. I practice every morning with these metal stuff. Well, I guess that is technically studying, it's just not reading or writing notes, I suppose.
Well, studying can take many forms. One would argue that practice is a form of studying.
Okay.
The trick here is not to just do the same thing every time. The trick is to push the bounds of what you're capable of that which you are capable, excuse me. So, for
You
instance,
were much more concerned with your language than I was, but yes, continue. Sorry.
for instance, right now, I've noticed when you practice your forms in the morning, you tend to run through the same ones every time. I would argue that you probably mastered those. What I think would be more helpful is if you try to do new things with your forms. Try to alter them in such a way that they become more difficult for you. If you fail at them, then you know where your limits are and where to push.
You have a point.
I've spent a long time thinking about this sort of thing. Studying it, if you will.
I understand.
What is your goal?
No, go ahead.
He goes to stand up as the metal object that he's sitting on begins to disappear. He realizes he's ran out of time. I'm at this moment currently finding that out.
Is there a different vertex that you would prefer?
Oh no, it has nothing to do with the goals with the vertex. That is purely a thing that we have to do in order to ensure our survival, I guess. So that is just something that we have to do. My goals probably lie outside of that.
So,
But It seems as though the sun is coming up, so we need to get the rest of these compatriots awake so that we can finish and get out of the rain.
Yes. Do make your blind perception checks for me.
I have done.
You don't get to just role play through the whole thing, Jerry, and that counts for not having to
I
potentially
didn't.
get attacked. All right, great. Jerry, you roll really well, and therefore you notice. I'm just kidding.
Great.
I
The
did
sun,
not like that.
the sun does ultimately rise. I think all of your lights expired, so the scene got dark. Everybody who had lights
they-
on.
They should have. Yeah.
So the scene got dark. So we're on the next day now. Jerry, wait, we should be on the 27th?
Yes, we should be on this 27th day of Labyrinth.
I'm doing my spell preparation. Sorry, hang on.
Okay.
You don't
27th,
have
that's
to
the
wait.
best day.
Keep going.
Best day of any month.
What day of the week is that?
Hard bias agree.
Hard bias.
The calendar says it's the 28th day, but I'm pretty sure it's the 27th.
That's fine with me.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
all
I think
spell
it is too.
slots restored.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Huge for a swashbuckler.
Yeah, we've been on the 26th day for a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
27th
a very
day,
long day.
set. 8 a.m. 27th day of Labyrinth. You may notice, cool thing about the Mythonos calendar, the first day of every month is a full moon. In fact, the months are all moon cycle based, and they're fairly in line with the planet's seasons, so that there's not that sort of migrating discrepancy. Always the first day of every month is a full moon. Halfway through the month is a new moon, and then it comes back up towards the end of the month. So it is Sunday the 27th. Sorry, Sun's Day the 27th of Labyrinth. I've told Devin nothing about the calendar, and you don't need to take notes or learn anything. You just know that this is how extra my world building is.
Oh, I know.
So, as you awaken on the following day, the rain does finally pass over, giving way to a watery sunrise, gray light piercing through these kind of large gray sheets of clouds that are still making their way across the sky, but it's beginning to break apart. A Swiss cheese overcast, if you will. You can quote me on that.
Excellent.
And it's no longer raining, but it is cool. It's mid-autumn. It's kind of like still a good bit of moisture coming off of the sea, obviously, and there's a lot of salt in the air. This kind of keeps things pretty well insulated, despite the chill. And as you pack up everything and cast your eyes across the marshland, you're ready to continue your journey. It seems that Jovi was able to find some fitful sleep over the night despite his injury. He's in quite a bit of pain, as the shock of having nearly died and the discomfort of being dehydrated and suffocating were slowly combated. His brain is now able to focus on just how much his leg hurts and is missing. And he is in a foul and grumpy mood.
Understand.
Yeah, understand.
Do you want me to take a look at that for you before we get started? Can't promise anything, but
Probably
Yes.
should, Jovi. Yeah.
That would
I'm
be
not-
most appreciated.
that seems hostile. Anyway, please just take a seat here, and hold
Yeah.
while I
As you peel
try
back
to.
the cloth, it's probably from. Actually, it's from the breeches of the sailor's uniform that Topherus salvaged some time ago. It's just like ripped cloth that's been used as bandaging. As you peel it back, again, you can see the magically healed stump around his knee. Really angry, inflamed skin, but it's like pink new skin. Probably incredibly itchy, incredibly painful, but not actively bleeding. Given
I'm going.
you
Oh,
look
sorry,
at
go
it, make a medicine check for me.
Righto.
Moore's gonna reach into his vest and pull out a flask and hand it to Jovi and says, "Oh, listen, mate, it's around dusk somewhere."
God damn it, John. What is this shit?
There it is.
What
There it
is
is.
this?
Only
Yep.
roll you made
Yep.
all
You know
game.
good and well what it is.
Yep. Easy. Easy.
Act.
Call it out. He said, "Oh, I have to roll? You want me to roll dice?
What kind of hacking bullshit is this?
You want me to roll dice? What's the number gonna be?"
Ah,
Is that a
aiming
crit?
for the fences.
Oh,
BJ.
sorry,
That fucking
It's
Pathfinder
cosmically ordained at this point. Like,
Yeah,
all right.
Sid. At what point is my deity just gonna start showing up and be like, "Hey, it's been me the whole time"?
I've been here the whole
time.
So my
Um,
deity is Sam Reich.
John, you
Sam Rice
should
Jr.
know by now. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
No,
No.
the only way
shut
to
the fuck
pray
up.
is by praying. The only way to salvation is by walking the path, and the only way to begin is by beginning. So, without further ado, I am your deity, Samurai. I've been here the whole
Sam Reich. I've been here the whole time.
What if his deity is a 20-sided dice?
Oh!
Wow.
No.
Would that not be
Bill cannot win.
On the nose.
Hmm.
On the nose.
If I had
It's
a way to
time to
manipulate, if I had a way to
make
manipulate the
stuff.
dice, which I don't. Let's be clear.
Sure.
There's not a way for a dungeon master
Totally,
to manipulate
totally
and,
believe you.
the
and
dice.
Totally
neither do
believe
I.
you.
I also do not have a way to manipulate dice.
Let's
If
also
I
be
did,
clear.
that would be such a clever long play.
Let's be clear. If you did have a way to manipulate the dice,
You only did it for Jonathan.
I would also say that I did not have a way to manipulate the dice.
I don't. There's not. This is RNG. Theoretically.
Random. Yeah.
So, Jonathan, with that 20 in medicine.
It's a 32. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
right. With the 32 in medicine,
Thank you. Yeah.
which would have been a success, but because it's 20, you increase it to a critical success. You are able to deduce that he should be in discomfort, he should be in pain, but this is probably phantom pain that he is feeling more than anything. It's that his leg hurts, but it's not there. It's more psychosomatic than like he's definitely in discomfort, but his leg has been magically healed and also wound treated, so it's not septic. It's been you've cleaned it really well, you've dressed it really well, you're preventing it from even these elements, these swampy, marshy, disgusting elements from getting to it. But he's in pain.
All right. So pronounce your name again for me. So I don't misspeak it.
Jovi.
Jovi. All right. So Jovi, look him in the eyes. Saragen's going to take off his Tarachnida cloak, and he is going to.
Oh wait, we
Like-
can't make eye contact while you get undressed. That reminds me.
No. Just please,
Oh.
just.
Okay.
It's gonna be something, and he will call over. Vestrin Chokai, please come here.
Are
He's
they
gonna
get undressed
put.
too?
No,
Okay.
please, just I'm going to do something. I'm trying to help you. And the longer that it takes me to do it, the more you're going to suck. Does that make sense? All right. So he's going to take his cloak and he's going to have him sit with like his, I guess, his stump going one way and his leg going the other.
Okay.
And he's going to say, "All right, put this cloak to where he can't to cover up his other leg and just hold it there. Now, what I want you to do is look at your leg, your actual leg, and I want you to flex both of your legs."
Make a what's
Saw
the
this in an
actual-
episode of House once.
What's the actual skill? No, yeah, I know you're. I'm here for it. He is not. He thinks you're about to do like a parlor trick with magicians, like, haha, here's your leg. Or, so the thing I want you to do is, what's the skill actually?
Medicine.
No, sorry, wouldn't that be great?
Make an impression.
Make an impression. Oh, you weren't here for the go get the basic action macro. Well, you might already have it.
Yeah, I have it.
Go to your basic action macros and click LMNOP. Make an impression.
Mm,
It should be under exploration.
okay, here we go.
All right.
Need you to tense up as much as you can. Just flex it as much as you possibly can, both of them. Think about, but look at that leg, tense both of them up.
You fucking with me?
Look me in my. Hold on one second, please.
Smolder. And before Smolder.
Sorry, it's under encounter. My bad. Look me in my eye.
Okay.
Look me in my eye. Tense both of them up. More.
Okay.
And now release it.
How'd you do that?
I didn't do anything. It's not what you do. He pats him on the shoulder. All right, enough complaining. We've got a long trek to go.
Vestrin says,
Um,
he's quite good, isn't he?
and he'll take his cloak, making eye contact. This is better for you. And then, all right, let's get on the road here.
He's slightly aroused.
Fair.
All right, as you all begin to
Didn't
make
need
your
to
way.
roll anything for that.
No, no.
Yep. Smolder is a passive ability.
Always active, always on.
Uh,
Goodness gracious. Devin, for context, Jonathan wrote this ability onto his own sheet. It's in the chat now. It's called Smolder.
Wait a second. Now, you make it seem like you had no part in it. So, Devin, if you look at all of the characters that Sid made
Oh, I know.
himself, obviously Sarah Dwin looks not like the other ones.
Wait a minute now. These are all very attractive.
Yeah, this is true, but if you look specifically
I
at the
specifically made
chiseled
Especially
characters
the
jaw
not be
that cuts a
attractive.
hole in the multiverse,
And
you
I'm
cannot.
not the one who said that Sarah was smoldered. But when someone asked what smolder meant, I did look it up because that's my role in this group.
Right. Sure.
And
sure.
I just didn't want anyone to forget about it.
Vestrin made a recall knowledge check. What do you? Did you do that on purpose?
Joke.
Oh,
It
okay.
was a joke
'Kay.
about when talking about making eye contact while getting dressed again. Never mind.
All right. As the party coalesces, gets ready for the morning, and you begin to hobble Jovi along, you all travel mostly unmolested. A couple of places that you are.
Mostly.
Sorry, I guess molested has some connotations. I should avoid that word. Mostly hamper free. You are delayed a couple of times by just the terrain. You find some places where the road is entirely eroded away, and will need to be someone will have to come out here and like shore up more clay. So you kind of have to make your way through the mud, stepping carefully to avoid plunging into the very slick pools that kind of shallowly coagulate throughout the marshlands. You can see now in the great distance, probably one more mile or so through the flats, you can see the sort of plumes of smoke that come up from the refineries where they're making pixie dust from the fairy slick out of the glasslands. Devin, it's basically opium. It's the drug trade.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I maybe did tell you
Yep.
that. So you can see the refineries. You're probably about a mile away from town, and Jovi starts getting nervous. You could theoretically start running into people. This is no longer just a road that leads strictly to that ruins. This is now a road that has other offshoots through the glasslands. You could run into travelers at any time.
We made it a little bit closer into town than I thought we were going to. Kind of snuck up on me with hauling your heavy ass around.
I'm not heavy. I'm like... Alright, okay. Let's not go there. We should...
10 pounds light. Sorry.
I should jump into the sea and head down into the Warrens. Are you good to stick with
Oh yeah.
them?
Yeah, we're good.
I gotta prove that you guys made it somehow at least. And David needs to know.
Are you good?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, practically weightless underwater.
Even still. I guess I'm a little bit overprotective after everything.
I know. Listen, I'll see you tonight.
Yeah, you be careful down there.
He hobbles over and just kind of like falls over backwards into the ocean, which at this point is more like a lagoon. It's like only 2 or 3 feet deep, but as soon as he is fully submerged, much like, I don't know if any of you have ever been fishing and like caught a brim or a bass or something, and like you take it off the hook and you put it in the water, and then seconds later it's gone. He kind of like
flappies.
falls into the water and then undulates his body just a couple of times, and you can no longer keep track of him with your eyes. That's how quickly he moves through the lagoon.
Well, I suppose we should get back to David.
So before we go, what do we say and not say to David when we get there?
Nothing about him. About his... That's irrelevant. For us...
Except that he is alive. David would
other
want
than-
to know that
sure.
Jovi is alive.
Yes, he's gonna... Yes. I was pointing it more. I meant
Oh,
specifically
sure.
that.
Sure.
Yeah, those secret things that we don't need to talk about are the secret things that we're not going to talk about. Our secret things, we do need to talk about what we are looking for here. And honestly, I think we're going to do a terrible job, and people are going to find out that there's a bounty on our head. I say looking at more, and just saying it out loud this time. And I prefer to just breach that and not have that be a thing that we're worried about people that we trust to know. That's my
I
thought.
believe we can trust David.
A
Quickly above
bounty
table.
by who?
We'll get into that. There's more to share, but
All right.
Quickly above table, Devin.
Yep.
Bounty hunters are rife in Ganphar. Many of Ganphar Town's citizens make their livings as bounty hunters across the globe, but different clans have different rules about what kind of bounties can be collected in their territory. Pale Orcas generally allow bounties to be collected for certain kinds of crimes, namely like rape and sex trafficking and murder and like particularly heinous crimes, but they don't necessarily allow bounties to be collected on smuggling, embezzling, financial crimes, theft, because that would be a large portion of their citizenry. So they have kind of a moral high ground piracy
Right.
point of view.
Don't be a dick.
But that's Palorca
Yeah.
crew. The other crews have different rules. There are some
Yeah.
places in Ganphar Town where like any bounties can be collected. It's free man's land, and other places where no bounties be collected because people there are so rough that like they commit all kinds of crimes. So,
Yeah.
but generally the
Sure.
party has stuck to Palorca, so that's what
Sure.
you would know about that.
Well, guys, listen. Who owns the bounty is kind of irrelevant. It is good to know though, because there are certain parts of towns that we probably don't want to go near.
We're aware.
You guys aren't like murderers or anything, right? Right.
No.
Sergeant Smolders.
The bounty is not something we've done. I'll just say that. You'll find out here. It's just not worth saying twice.
That's fine. Okay. As long as you're not murderers, we're good, probably.
I feel like when we explain it to you,
I feel like you're gonna you probably have heard of the bounty potentially. I think it's been getting.
that might be true.
You might not put it together. That's what happened last place. But
We'll
don't
see.
worry. It wouldn't have come this far to say all that to.
To David then, huh?
Right, to David.
Indeed.
Yeah, in terms of what he doesn't need to know, like has already been said, nothing about my ancestry.
Of course.
All he knows is that we're from Unagi.
He does not know that we are from Ashtabor, so
He's going too soon.
true.
All right.
Right.
As you all make your way past the refineries and the salt flats, where they're drying out in these massive clay pools, they're drying out the marsh water to collect the powder version of the fairy dust, the pixie dust, very slick, and refining it. Make your way further and deeper to where there is no real landmass at all, or just spits of little pieces of land, and most of Ganphar stretches forth out into the bay on these massive flotilla constructs of ancient, dilapidated pirate ships piled on top of one another. You make your way through and to the headquarters, the guild hall of
The Pale Orcas.
the Pale Orca crew. This is not what I want.
Okay.
Vecna appears. What?
That's a problem.
No, thank you.
Again.
Been there, done that.
If you mean just the
The little boy.
section of Rahavia that was consumed, maybe
So-
that's okay now.
As you all make your way to the guild hall, it is a bustling place here on Sun's Day morning at, well, it's probably around 11 a.m. Let's go ahead and get, where's my calendar?
Was our map supposed to change?
Nope, I don't have a map for this at this time.
Oh.
You just like imagine it for me?
Sure.
Thanks.
What do you mean?
I thought that we had been to the place.
We
before.
had. Was there not a map before?
Yeah, there
No.
was, because we saw David. We walked around in that
No.
guild hall. That wasn't the guild hall.
Nah, man. I explained. That was all theater.
But
mind.
we saw a
Whatever you're
picture.
thinking
We
of-
saw a picture though.
I think that he did give us a picture. That's totally possible,
Yeah,
guys.
we saw a picture. I could have sworn I know exactly
I
what the
thought
map
that
looks
was
like.
a
I may.
If
Okay.
you
it
think
may
you
have
know what
been
the map
in
looks
theater
like,
mind.
then I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back because
Okay.
there is no map.
Okay.
If that's your recollection, then I'm great. We should do it always this way.
Okay.
Save me a ton on Patreon every month. Nah, I really like my map maker guy. I would support him anyway. As you guys get back to the guild hall, quite a bustling place. Imagine your classic anime fairy tale guild hall. You first walk into the doors, vaulted ceilings, there's a bar on one side, there's a notice board on the left, and there are a fair number of people in here carousing, enjoying each other's company, raucously reviewing the bounty board, and just kind of killing time. There's a couple of winged steps that go up on either side to a raised balcony when you first enter. There's some offices up there, one of which you have been to before you realize, or you remember, that it belongs to Radovid Jace, the golden boy captain of the Pale Orca crew. As you first enter, there are people who look at you kind of wondering, questioning, curious for sure, but it's not like instant silence and everyone's staring at you. It's a large enough room, enough different cliques and groups of people that you don't like silence the place as soon as you walk in. And it helps, of course, that Moore is with you, kind of giving the reverse nod to people as you walk in. As you begin to make your way towards the stairs and up to Jace's office, knock on the door. Yes, come in. Into the stuffy office, ostensibly for administrative work, but more you would know that most of the paperwork in here doesn't really like cycle or change. It's just there to it's more like props to make it look like he's busy, because he likes to look busy so that people don't ask him to do stuff. But as you walk in, he is busy doing exactly that, poring over papers. And it's likely that there's some relevance to these papers, but like the general clutter of the office is largely a face. He just looks up. Look at old Moore. He runs over and gives you a hug.
David, busy as always, I see.
Yeah, well, you know me. Like to keep busy.
No, hey, it's okay. It's okay. We're good. Jovi just needs to be patched up.
I have
Patched
a
up.
human. There's a druid not too far that I'm familiar with. And agreed. We met on the way back.
An elf?
He's human.
You know a human druid in Ganphar?
Not in Gavr. He's a contact that I've had with. Yes, kind of.
Make a deception. Make a
Can
It's a
I?
lie. Would you like to help?
Can I? I would like to.
I will say that I think this is partially true. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. I may not have said
Yeah.
druid. You might not. Druid might be the wrong word, but I am.
That's fine.
I
That's
am
fine. It could
talking-
be.
yeah.
Maybe with the success here, you spin it off and say, "Oh, maybe I didn't mean druid. Maybe I meant herbalist or whatever." But like,
Got you. Yeah.
give me the check, because what you did say is very specific.
Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not.
I'm not
Call
gonna
it.
help. I'm not
Call
gonna
it.
help.
Okay.
That's
I
not.
thought that
Hero.
persuasion was the thing.
It's
not.
it's diplomacy is the check that does that.
Oh,
Is this blind?
What's the actual check I'm talking about? Is it lie?
That's why I don't know.
Because
A
somebody
lie.
would have had to have carried
Lie.
our mail back and forth.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Lie is secret.
Why don't
Lie is
you
the basic
give me-
action.
Oh, because I have all characters selected. It doesn't know which one is
Yeah.
me.
But yeah, lie is a secret check.
That was more the problem, that I couldn't figure out how to make this work, because it said 0, and that was definitely not true.
Alright, let's see. I need to pull his token so that I can see what his will DC is. That is I don't have to tell you this.
It's
I
blind.
don't
I
have
shouldn't.
to- I
In
don't have
fact,
to tell you this.
don't tell me, because that ruins the whole purpose of the whole thing we just did, Sid.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
Sorry, herbalist. My bad.
as long as he's being taken care of. We have healers here in the guild. More. I know. We wouldn't charge you. You can
I
come
didn't want to
here.
be a burden, man. I didn't want to be a burden. It's all good. We got somebody.
Thassa. Next time, come here. We'll take care of you.
Understood, David.
Guys, I can't tell you how happy I am that you not only met my my mission goals, but exceeded them immensely by bringing my allies back to me. Tell me, what news of the northern fort? Usable?
You know, that shit was like dangerous, man. Like for real. Hey, no, Kijani does not talk like this often, but honestly, I feel like we were not properly forewarned for what we were walking into. Like spirits of dead
Dangerous.
elves and shit? Yes.
Dead
Crazy.
elves.
Yes.
Was
Oh, you don't know. Okay.
a lot more than we bargained for.
I guess
It
so.
was more that we
Yeah,
bargained for you.
there's at least one trap that or not trap, spirit that is inhabits blood or something that may still be an issue. Wasn't while we were there, but we also
And
left.
the Max didn't take care of that?
Who?
Huh.
Sargent points to
Oh.
the dent in his shield. No, he did not, and my shield is dented.
We had to kill him because he was taken over by a blood curse or something.
Oh, I can look
That's
into that.
Wow.
Sorry.
that's
That's
true.
what I could have done with
He's
that 10 minutes
he's
yesterday.
dead.
Yes, we
I mean, I don't
imminently
care, but
destroyed his body. Yes.
There is also a collective of goblins. Goblins. Are they goblins? Gremlins. Sorry,
Yes.
thank you.
They had
Gremlins.
killed the kobolds that were there, but they would not be an issue.
I mean, they would be easily
They seem
defeated.
to
They
like
are
more.
they're pretty good natured. Maul seems to have a rapport with them.
Sure.
so maybe we could easily buy the fort from them?
Yeah. They're just
Not a
wanting
bad
some
idea.
peas.
And then
There
you can
is
take care of the
also-
ghosts and hauntings.
There is also a rather troublesome river drake that is,
A river drake.
yes. We did
Awfully
not
close
see
to the
fit
sea for river drakes.
We didn't see fit to engage with it.
Naturally.
Oftentimes, river creatures end up out towards the sea depending on the tides.
That's true.
Sorry.
Curious.
He then gets
Sorry.
kind of like oddly close to David and is like, how do you feel about history, David?
Like
Are you a history
rise and
buff?
fall of Baladesh?
No, I
How do
mean
you
in
feel about being
general.
part of
In
history,
general.
David?
So not really well studied.
Okay,
They didn't
cool.
fall.
And
they-
the Kijani steps back a little bit.
Yeah, we found out the building was really old.
It is very
We
old.
knew that. It's Elvish, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sure.
Yes, but it's ancient. For instance, do you see my ears? And she pulls her hair back.
Well,
They're pointed, but they're rather short. The depictions on the walls in your fort show elves with very, very long ears.
that sounds
These are
racist.
ancient.
Is that?
These are
We
ancient
believe it to be
elves.
pre-Vale.
I'm sorry. Say that word again.
We believe it to be pre-Vale. I am not grinning, David.
That would be very, very old. Older than Ganphar.
Yes.
He did say that actually just a moment ago. Tried to relay that to you.
Did say ancient.
We always assumed that.
It has been built upon, so there may be sections of it that are not quite that old, but the foundation and the bones of it are
It was actually sank.
quite old.
When Ganphar was founded, strong word. Records point to a massive naval battle, sinking hundreds of ships, creating the basis for the foundation, most of the flotilla. They were fighting elves here. in the bay. The belief is that they won, chased the elves off. We always assumed that the elves left and built that fort.
It looks like that fort was a lot older than.
Surely it's all just like full of mud and water now, right?
Well,
not
I
quite.
pull out some keys. There is a room that I think absolutely terrified me. There's a stairwell that goes down in one of the buildings.
We did not explore that.
So it could be full of Preveo relics.
David.
Perhaps.
David.
But it
We
also
should
could
probably
be full of extremely dangerous creatures that have not seen the light of day
It is not a place for people to go.
for
Look.
millennia.
As my newest guild members,
Thank you.
I won't go back on my word. I promised you. Anything you find there, you can keep. That includes the keys. Just saying, maybe there's an opportunity for us to all get
Maybe
really
there-
rich.
The building seems safe enough to turn into a safe refuge for making journeys into the marsh or having some sort of a base. But if you would please respect our word when we tell you, do not go into that basement. Do not send people.
We're
into
brewing
that basement.
alchemist's fire.
That is dangerous.
Yes, and illegal in Gaffertown for many reasons, largely the entire.
Places made
Fire
places.
and boats don't go together.
Right, that's
Ships-
why we need a solid stone structure on the mainland some distance away to brew it in and store it.
I think that you could build further storage. I think honestly, I would not lie to you about the danger of this thing. I do not think that it is something easily cleared.
Okay.
If I'm,
More
might ask.
still looking surprised at his admission of us
Yeah.
brewing alchemist fire. Does pipe up, looks over in between the two and says, "Listen, I think he might be right. With this building being as old as they say it is, I agree with you. Sure, they could probably be full of stuff that we could go and sell, man. But
I hear you. So, secure the
if I-
fortress, make repairs, continue with the planned operation, and we'll just sit on the staircase for now.
Eventually, I think we will be able to handle it, but it will take some time and preparation.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is your most accomplished adventurer?
You're looking at him.
What level is David? How do you roll that track?
If you were going to give yourself a number between as far as your experience level goes,
He won't answer that question. That's not a real question.
David, how long have you been captain?
Just 3 years.
Well, that is not a very long time.
Well,
You say
previous
that like
captain
it
had
is
been
not a
captain
long
for 11 years.
okay.
Okay, okay. That is good to know. Are you
But the previous captain
particularly
became captain at the
skilled
age of
with-
30, and I became captain at the age of 17.
You're 20 now. Oh, we are the
That's-
same age!
Excellent math. It's funny how much taller I am than you. What were you gonna say next?
I am a leshy. Hey, that is rude. Hold on. He gets back in his face. That is unkind.
You try
Okay,
to.
my
He's
people.
like double your height.
Anyways, we are the same age. That is cool.
Oh. Yeah.
Faster
You have friends your age,
I have lots of friends my age.
like
friends.
real friends.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
Just girls
That-
chasing me down the street.
Wow.
Astrid says, as I know that you are keen on utilizing this fortress as a money-making opportunity, and I might have an idea for you
Money.
in that regard.
War making opportunity.
Eh?
Well, I
War.
Wait, what? Why are you going? Who? War?
Yeah. Even
Wait.
this is new to you, more.
Mhm.
Yeah. Blue Maw.
that's what I thought you might say. Well, you initially said there might be relics that you could sell, so I thought that there was
Or
monetary
use.
incentive.
Money is
Or
always
use.
necessary in war.
Well, that's true, and sometimes the cause of it. What I was going to propose is that perhaps you clear out the top part of the fortress, set up your operation, or rather our operation there, and then you invite adventurers to try their hand at the basement. See if they could clear it for a nominal fee, of course. Nominal admission fee. You
Tricky
might
proposition.
you might, in fact, get some interest from the Blue Maw. It's likely that they would die down there, and you can thin their numbers before waging full war on them, while also making money off of them.
And then you wouldn't need to potentially burn down all of Ganphar with alchemist fire.
That's
Blue Maw territory is entirely isolated. I mean,
But isn't it valuable still as you are gonna get new ships to wreck into the? I actually don't know how that exactly works. Like, you would lose that territory then.
That's true. That's true. And who needs more open ocean, right? Plenty of that. You make a valid point.
Valid. Come on.
I mean, drawing our enemies out from their territory to murder them one by one at their own incentive is far more
More
lucrative.
than valid.
Yeah. Well,
it's a slow play.
the
But I think
concern
it
I
would
have, of
work.
course, is that they might succeed, or at least succeed far enough to find something of incredible value and use. Something that could be used against
You would have
me.
to be very strong, I feel like, to succeed in getting to the end of such a.
Well, they don't have to get to the end. They find something in the first 3 rooms. I mean, who knows?
Oh, we would have to incentivize.
A wand, a staff, a crown.
But,
Trinkets.
we don't know
Scroll?
enough to incentivize anything.
Maybe we
All I
sit on
know
this
is
for
I
now.
was terrified of the stairs.
Maybe we open it to people inside of our own guild
Pale Orcas.
and say that
Hmm.
they have the support of the guild if they think that they are honestly up for the challenge, and let it be known that it is not for the weak of heart. And then at least they are orcas. There is some bargaining to be done for what they might find.
You know what? And I say, he gets real quiet. I say, we plant a giant pile of gold right at the bottom of the stairs. The first fucker that goes down the stairs and comes back up with a pile of gold.
What about
We-
then?
I don't know about that.
Then they go
murdered.
spread the word.
Oh.
Yeah, you put the gold there. Why would you? Why wouldn't you just kill the guy if you were gonna? Why would you need to give him the gold to begin
Oh,
with?
because he then.
Because
No,
he
sorry,
says
I'm
the word
asking-
that there's
no,
treasure
sorry.
down
I
there.
don't. I don't know. I don't know if like. I thought you were saying we put.
your plan.
I thought we put the gold at the bottom and then see if when he goes down, he comes back up, he reports that he found gold. And if he doesn't,
That's fair.
We kill him.
But
we kill him.
that's neither here. That's all good planning in the future. We came to Ganphar for a particular purpose.
That's
and
true.
see.
Sorry, just trying to
To
help
become
a new
guild members of the Pale Orca.
No.
Oh.
And
Which is
yeah.
just a bonus.
That is
eh,
supreme confidence, David. Good job. That's not quite.
That's kind of my thing.
Ever the hype man. Kijani.
Look, speaking of, your reward I haven't forgotten. In fact, he goes over to the desk and opens the drawer and pulls out. Let's see. Hands each of you a platinum.
A
Reward.
plat-
1 platinum. A singular platinum piece for each of you. You see the smithy on the first floor. They'll provide you with your knives.
Thank you.
Additionally, welcome to the Pale Orca crew. You, of course, may feel free to take any job offers on the board. Please take note of the difficulty level of those job offers. Rewards are generally commensurate with the anticipated threat level of those jobs. So,
If how might we identify ourselves or others as Pale Orcas? How do-
your
how do
dagger
we
will do
tell-
that.
I see. Okay. And
Speaking
how
of which,
will
could I have my pen back?
Surgeon looks around frantically.
who's supposed to have that? Sidram.
I don't know who. I don't know who
We
has it. I know we have his pin because we were supposed to show
Whoever
Moraine
has
and
it gives
Jovi.
it back.
Yeah, I don't know who took it. I don't took it. Yeah.
One of you
I
gives it
feel like
back.
it would have been Vezran.
I think it is veteran. It's a gold pin in the shape of an orca. It's actually in his
Oh.
art.
I
He
do
puts it-
remember that. Okay.
Puts it back on his lapel.
Esrin says, of course. Here you are. Ended up not needing it, but I kept it safe for you.
Ah, well. He looks at more. Ever the trustful ones, aren't they?
Well, to be fair, we did save both their lives, so
You did.
if we were not
Yeah. Well, I'll
they're
get you
here,
caught up.
aren't they?
The blood curse
Yes,
that
but I
we
didn't know that they were
mentioned earlier,
necessarily in
that's
danger.
where we found. Yes, very
We've
much
not
so.
just spent the last 10 minutes telling you how dangerous this fucking place is.
All of those things we did to get to these people.
Yeah, but
It's
And we killed the arachnid just for fun. Like,
we did do that. That is something we did do. That's true.
That's true.
Oh, that's the wrong character sheet. That's why.
well,
I'm just. It is. There is a reason that we are telling you these things. Okay.
These guys are the real deal. We'll get y'all caught up.
well, then I'm happy to have you aboard. Make sure you see the
Best
smithy for your knives.
Turn it for 8.
If we were to quantify our power, we would say maybe level 3. So we could start. Start there.
That's
We would.
that's great. A great point. Why don't you all add? Also, I got rid of the mod somehow that adds experience points. Clearly
Great.
wasn't working anyway. I think everybody except for Chokai, I think everybody should be at 825. Chokai at 815. Let's make sure that is true.
I think
Yes.
only 3 of us have given recaps this cycle.
I gave the first recap.
Me, you, and Vezran, right?
I gave
No,
the last
Will
one.
gave
Ollie
the last
gave
one.
one.
Oh, Ollie.
Last one.
So 4 of us?
Yeah, I don't think that I realized that you were available to give one this week. I thought that AJ
so it's
was the only one.
Saradwin-
this week. No, I know.
I
I
don't
think
think
that,
Saradwin has given one.
Oh, AJ
No.
may have been the last.
I think
person
that
in the
AJ
cycle
is
who
the
was
last
supposed to- who was
person on the
supposed to give
cycle.
one.
I think
think
that
so.
AJ is. Yeah, I think that it is true.
I think everybody should be at 825, but AJ's at 815.
Okay.
Yeah, I typically go like first.
Was I not supposed to give one this time?
I didn't think you were supposed to,
I
but
didn't think so
I
either.
I was behind in points anyways because I had not chosen the
Mhm.
thing. So.
Yeah, I think, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't
Okay.
matter. So, but there is some experience to be earned for completing this quest. It is 100 and 20 experience points.
So 440, 945.
9:45. That's correct.
I really almost said the time that it is right now because,
It is 9:15.
but I didn't want to be confusing.
And that is where we will. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. We're over, but we had some stuff to wrap up. We started late too, so I don't feel too bad. We'll meet again next week, gentlemen, where we will. Actually, should I rework the fighting pit encounters, or
Just give us
just
another
let you
level.
all struggle?
So that we
a
can actually
bit?
do the.
Or let
Give us
there be a
give us the
small-
level and then let us struggle.
No, find a small thing.
No.
I'm sure there's a small thing to do.
There's
60.
probably a small thing for 60 experience points somewhere along the way. I'm sure. Actually,
ready for
by the book, which I'm not using the book, but by the adventure that I was scalping from, you're supposed to get 40 experience points for dealing with Tangletop. So whether you kill her or converse with
Appease
her.
her.
So everybody go ahead and add another 40 experience points.
Now this is just this is
Nine
just
eighty-
You
So what that-
tease.
what
You
that
tease.
prepared just in case he is going to put us there. Be ready.
985.
985. Is that right?
Don't say it. Don't
Yes.
say it. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Next time on Injustice.
Injustice.
This is an injustice.
And injustice.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye,